The Caribbean is tense. The U.S. has launched its largest military deployment in decades, centered on Puerto Rico. Warships, fighter jets, and thousands of American troops now dominate the region. Operation Southern Spear began in August 2025. Lethal force has already been used. U.S. strikes have destroyed vessels linked to drug trafficking, with dozens killed. The USS Gerald R. Ford leads a powerful force of carriers, destroyers, and F-35s. The world is watching, uncertain what comes next. The region is on edge, with no clear end in sight. The Caribbean's calm waters have never felt so dangerous. Washington insists this buildup is a response to threats from Venezuela. U.S. officials accuse President Maduro of harboring criminal organizations like Tren de Aragua and the Cartel de los Soles, now labeled as terrorist groups. The Trump administration frames Operation Southern Spear as a mission to stop drug trafficking and terrorism threatening U.S. security. President Trump has even suggested possible strikes inside Venezuela. The recent shakeup in military leadership, Admiral Holsea's resignation, reflects internal debate over the aggressive strategy. An Air Force general now leads SOUTHCOM, overseeing the complex operation. U.S. officials argue that inaction would allow criminal networks to threaten American lives and regional stability. The controversial strikes at sea are presented as necessary to disrupt illegal shipments. The U.S. position: Venezuela has become a haven for criminals and terrorists, and America has the right to defend itself. Critics warn this approach risks escalation and unintended consequences. The region is left to wonder, is this about security or something more? The stakes for both countries. The world waits to see how far Washington will go. Venezuela is not backing down. President Maduro has put the military on high alert, activating the Independence Plan 200 and mobilizing all bases. 4.5 million civilian militia members have been called up, alongside nearly 200,000 regular troops. The message: Venezuela will resist any foreign intervention. To counter U.S. power, Maduro has turned to allies, China, Iran, and Russia, for support. Russia has delivered advanced air defense systems, making U.S. air operations riskier. The U.S. has warned that Venezuelan airspace is effectively closed. Venezuela's military buildup and new technology show it's preparing for a serious fight. The search for allies is paying off, raising the stakes for any U.S. action. The country is digging in, determined to defend its sovereignty. The world is watching a high-stakes diplomatic and military standoff unfold. Any misstep could trigger a wider conflict. The balance of power in the region is shifting. Puerto Rico is now the nerve center of the U.S. operation. Its location, just a few hundred miles from Venezuela, makes it the perfect staging ground. U.S. forces can launch air and naval missions quickly, using the island's advanced infrastructure. Puerto Rico's airfields and deep water ports support the largest warships and the most advanced jets. The military buildup has transformed daily life for Puerto Ricans, bringing both economic activity and anxiety. The island's complex relationship with the U.S. now includes being at the forefront of a potential international crisis. Puerto Rico is the launchpad for Operation Southern Spear, anchoring the American presence in the Caribbean. Without it, projecting power this far south would be far more difficult. The island is not just a backdrop, it's essential to U.S. strategy. Its role highlights how territory still matters in modern warfare. For Puerto Rico, the stakes are personal and immediate. The world's attention is now focused on this strategic outpost. The next move could come from here. The situation is volatile, and the future is uncertain. The U.S. may hope its show of force will pressure Maduro to change course without war, but with so many military assets in close proximity, the risk of accidental conflict is high. Strikes at sea have already drawn international condemnation and legal scrutiny in Washington. The coming weeks are critical. Will either side de-escalate, or will new provocations push the region to war? Latin American nations are calling for restraint, fearing a humanitarian crisis if conflict erupts. The world holds its breath as the U.S. and Venezuela face off. The fate of millions hangs in the balance. The choices made now will decide whether the Caribbean storm breaks into war or fades away. The next chapter is unwritten. The world is watching.